Okay, so we're here at Carnival Expo and we've just screened the amazing Trinidadian film Aftermath, which is basically a love story which develops at Juve in Trinidad. We're here with the film's director, Karen Martinez. Karen, thank you for coming. Thank you for allowing us to screen your amazing film. How does it feel to actually have it screened here in London at Carnival Expo?
Yeah, it's great to have it here. I mean, the thing is that I made this film in 2013. It's screened at, around the Caribbean. It's screened at a number of festivals around the world. But to actually have it here as part of Carnival Expo means a huge amount because I made it to be seen. It's a film that I feel is a story that comes out of the Caribbean, a story that I really know and feel close to, and that hopefully other people can kind of relate to. So yeah, I really want it to be seen much more. And it's good that it's here in London as part of a kind of Caribbean carnival experience. Yeah.
So why did you choose this particular story?
I think I chose it because I'm a documentary filmmaker, and the documentaries that I've made for a long time often have to do with identity and race and culture in the Caribbean. So that's something that's on my mind. So when I had the opportunity to write my first ever drama, this was an idea that came to me about masking, the traditions that we have in the Caribbean, like Carnival, like Juve, and that whole process of masking, and how we can, through masking, we can kind of become somebody else, and we can kind of let go of a character that we've built up and project to the world normally. We take on a different character, and we kind of let go of a lot of inhibitions and free up a little bit more. And that sort of thing also happens in Juve, I realized. So I wanted to use something about disguise and about people's kind of hidden personalities coming out of, or hidden feelings, or feelings that they would crush normally because of the societal constraints. And that whole idea came from me looking at the way that people interact during Carnival, and different races and classes do mix. But what happens, in the light of day, when they go back to their job and their work and their family and their society and whatever, and they kind of hold on to those traditional lines, they stay within their boxes, And so I wanted to, in a way, to foreground ideas of race and class in the Caribbean, something that we tend to brush under the carpet and pretend isn't really an issue. And I wanted it to become something that was on the screen and that give people a chance to then talk about.
Now, you're a filmmaker, and I know that you mentioned that you started off in photography. So the film industry in the Caribbean, I guess it can be referred to as a fledgling. It's young, it's coming, it's definitely developing. We have amazing films being made, very talented directors and producers. Why did you decide to take that direction?
So when I went to film school over here, it was film and photography in the first year, and so I discovered film for the first time then, and I just fell in love with it when I made my first 1-minute narrative and realized that, one, you could tell a story with these pictures, the way you cut it together, and two, the thing I loved about it was the collaborative process, working with different people and, bouncing ideas off of people and so on. And photography is quite a solitary experience. Filmmaking is much more of a community. It's getting on with people.
Yeah.
It's taking ideas, but also knowing what your ideas are and all that sort of thing. And it's given people a lot of potential. And hopefully, the Caribbean as a region will come together much more, and rely on each other and promote each other and help out in the industry, which I think is happening. Like with the film festival this year, I think they're having a film mart and all that sort of thing.
The first one, the Caribbean Film Mart.
Yeah, exactly. So there's going to be a database for Caribbean films, and the other thing is that what you really need is audiences to watch more Caribbean films. Cinemas, the big multiplexes and so that we have in the islands to screen more local films, and for audiences to come as paying audiences. Agreed. And see them.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you've mentioned the subjects of race and identity are very important to you, and I think we got a little bit of a Trinis in London Carnival Expo Shanti Media exclusive about your new film that you've been working on. It's completed.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a bit about that?
It's about identity for people who live between two different cultures. So it could be anywhere, but my film is rooted in London and Trinidad, because that's my story, and the narrative it's a first-person narrative.
Yeah.
And it's about how do you form identity? Where does your identity kind of come from and grow out of where do you belong, where is home, particularly for contemporary migrants who go between places. There's much more movement. There's Skype. The communication is easier. There's cheaper travel.
Yeah.
So movement is much more than say in the 50s and 60s when people originally came from the Caribbean to the UK. They didn't go back as often. There wasn't that much interaction. Now there's a huge amount of interaction.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of wondering how that informs our identity and our feeling of belonging.
I like what you're doing in terms of, it's a collaborative effort. It's teamwork. So you're using people from Trinidad, people from London, but of Caribbean heritage, which is also very important.
Yeah.
It's a part of identity.
Yeah.
We still have to tell our stories no matter where we are. I'm really loving that, and I'm very excited about this film.
Well, when I do the trailer, I'll have to give you all a little taster.
Oh, please do. That would be awesome. See, exclusives again, exclusives. Karen, it's been lovely speaking with you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're really looking forward to your work. We absolutely love Aftermath, and if we can be of any help to screen it in London, the new film, Dreams in Transit, just let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you.